Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Friday edition of Today in Sports Betting, doing it on the baseball side, taking a look at the baseball lineup here for all you seam heads. Not a big lineup today, Scott, but got a couple of intriguing games that we're going to talk about. And I know that you were excited about opening day yesterday. How'd everybody's teams do? How did our teams do, Scott? How'd those Yankees do?
Well, they were doing decently, and then I saw them blow, I believe it was a guy on third with either no outs or one out in the ninth. Then Nick Nelson came in for the 10th. And truth is, I missed the last, 2-3 innings because we were doing the radio show at the time, so
Yep.
I was pretty happy I missed it, to be honest.
Didn't end well. My Kansas City Royals, Scott, find themselves alone in first place in the American
Down
League.
5-0 in the top of the first. Did not look promising. And then the bottom of the first happened. You felt a lot better.
I felt a lot better. You're absolutely right. I had no official action on that. I did like the over in that game.
Well,
Yeah. Texas may just be a blind over team all year long.
For opposing team totals.
Well, that
Apparently
too.
They can hit also, so who knows?
What's that? I mean, they don't pitch and they can rake.
I was going to say, apparently they can hit too, so
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So we've got a short one tonight, Scott, and I know there's one that it really has your attention. And take it away, buddy.
Well, that's a way to put me on the spot here. Well,
I know.
Yesterday I said I like the Dodgers.
How many? But not just the Dodgers, Scott.
I believe it was -2.5.
-2.5. That's right. Extra Dodgers.
And then instead they lost by 3 runs. Kershaw on opening day. Well, you can throw those stats out the window because he was awful. I don't really know what Roberts was doing either, keeping him in to bat in the 6th. He ended up getting a hit anyway, but you knew he was running out of gas.
Yes.
He came out to pitch in the bottom of the 6th, and he gave up, I believe it was 2 or 3 runs in that inning.
Yep. Didn't go well.
I don't really know what Roberts' game plan was, but I can't even say Marquez pitched well. I believe he had 6 walks through about 3 2/3. So Dodgers only had 1 run. Bellinger hit a home run and then accidentally ran past Justin Turner because Turner thought the ball was caught. And, Bellinger hit a home run and had to leave after first base. So they scored it was a 2-run homer for 1 run. And that's how you know your bet's not going to go too well. And then Seager also missed the ground ball that would have ended the inning, and there were a lot of really bad plays.
Yeah, that was not good. Of course, it basically, as soon as I made an in-game play on the Dodgers, I got a nice price on them, and they came back to take the lead. I'm like, here we go, we're in good shape. And then, no, not so much.
Yep, but happens. Colorado hit the ball well. I thought Kershaw was going to pitch well. He did not, and it's pretty much all there is to it because Los Angeles' bats, I would say, didn't really do much against Marquez. They threatened a lot, but didn't really generate much. The bullpen came in, and of course, Colorado's bullpen's terrible, so the Dodgers actually scored some runs. But Kershaw just was awful, and there's really no other way to put it,
Nope, it wasn't certainly wasn't in mid-season form. But I know, Scott, you're no coward. You're ready to go back to the well. -260 on last year's Cy Young winner Trevor Bauer, going against Antonio Senzatella.
Well,
what do you think here, buddy?
The real question is do you think that yesterday was a fluke, or do you think the Dodgers are just going to be so bothered they actually lost to this team that they're going to come out and try to smack them? I think you can argue either way. Now, Bauer, of course, is or was voted the best pitcher in the National League last year because he won the award. However, he is going to be in Coors, which, of course, is always it's an adventure for pitchers. Let's put it that way. The Dodgers team total in this game, which you'll probably laugh at on DraftKings, 7.5.
That'd have been my guess.
Which is really just amusing to me.
Well, what's the total in this? And I've got it at 11.5 for the total, right?
11.5.
So that's basically they're saying Dodgers by 5.5.
Kinda.
I mean,
they have it priced at around 7.5 and 4.5. So you're looking at about a 3-run differential there, which is ironically what I thought the first game would end up as, but that didn't end up working out. If I really had to actually look at anything in particular, the question: do you think Bauer's going to pitch well?
I don't know.
New catcher. Does that concern you at all, trying to back a guy who now has to deal with a new catcher?
No, I'm much more concerned about him being in Coors Field.
That too.
I don't know what
I see the team total for the Rockies is 4.5. If you want to feel like gambling a little bit, it's plus 107.
I don't love that a lot.
I don't either, but I just was telling you.
I'd probably be more interested in taking the Dodgers team total over. So you think this is not just this is just an aberration?
I think it has to be, right?
The Rockies aren't going to overtake the Dodgers?
I believe that would be a hot take if you thought the Rockies would overtake the Dodgers. But yeah, at the end of the day, Sanzatella was actually decent last year. Am I a big Sanzatella fan? No, not really. Bauer, I think, is tremendous. I think we all know that. I really can't find a play that has much value on this game, though. You know, like that's the tricky part when you find a money line of minus 260 and you have to start trying to dig to find some value on some plays and everything like that. I really just don't see much. Like that's the problem, is that I'm not going to say that I'm concerned about how the Dodgers played in the first game of the season. You know, stuff like that happens. Do I want to lay Dodgers minus 2.5 and minus 118? Of course not. So I don't really have many thoughts. Do you?
Well, I'll share this with you. Bauer's made one start at Coors Field in his career. It did not go well.
Okay.
3 1/3, 5 hits, 4 earned, 5 walks. Not good at all. As he ended up taking it on the chin in that one. So just food for thought. You never know. It could be an umpire that didn't match up well. It could be a lot of other factors. He could have been nursing an injury, whatever. So
you like the over?
I would have to play the over. Yeah, that's my play in this game.
That's fair. True. Truth is, you brought the game up. I feel like just to kind of mock my play from yesterday, but just in general, I don't really have much on this game because I don't think there's much value to be found.
I'm thinking real seriously about just almost putting Colorado overs at home on autoplay.
That's fair.
Because that pitching is so bad, and even though their hitting is certainly taken a step backwards or two.
Coors definitely balances that out a little.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to tune 230 hitters into 270 hitters, and that's a good thing. So till further notice, especially 11.5, because we'll see these numbers later in the summer. Scott, get to 12.5, 13, and I realize Trevor Bauer's on the mound, and I realize that's why it's only 11.5, and I do say only 11.5 on purpose, but we'll see. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. These guys are rarely in top condition. You know, the pitchers are usually ahead of the hitters, but certainly not the case in this game yesterday. It wasn't the case in the Royals game, but there was some games where it was. However, they're just, I don't think they're going to go long. So it would be an over or nothing for me on this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Okay. What else you like, buddy?
Well, looking at the overall card, one game I'm kind of tempted by, just by the pitching matchup. I know that this game was an absolute pitcher's duel yesterday between the Rays and the Marlins. I see the Rays are currently minus 114 on the money line against the Marlins tomorrow with Yarbrough against Lopez. I'm not exactly a Pablo Lopez guy. I feel like I've been vocal about that in the past. I don't think he's very good. I actually think Yarbrough is pretty good. And I know that Tampa did enough offensively by scoring a whopping 1 run. But I think you can agree that Miami's offense just isn't going to cut it. And I do think Yarbrough is the better pitcher. And Miami's bullpen, still a huge question mark. So I think Tampa at minus 114 is clearly the better team. I feel like that's definitely a pretty solid value spot there for me.
Yeah, I think as we talk about Colorado being an auto over.
Miami might be an auto under.
Yep. Good arms and almost no offense.
I see minus 110 actually on FanDuel, which I think is just a very good deal for Yarbrough.
Now, see, and again, I am higher on Lopez than you are. He had
definitely true. It just I think
Yarbrough had a breakthrough season last year. I like what he did. 360.
You think Yarbrough's better?
You mean who would I rather have, or who do I like in this matchup?
Who would you rather have?
I'd rather have Pablo Lopez.
Okay, agree to disagree.
Well, he's for start. How old is Yarbrough?
Great question.
25, 26? Because Lopez is 24. Well, 25 now.
I'm just saying from what I've seen from both pitchers in their careers, I think Yarborough's had the better career up to this point.
Well, he's played for the better team too.
That's definitely true, and that's also why I'm taking Tampa, because I think that they have the better team.
I don't hate that. Again, I think that's a decent play. It's good value on a team that's obviously better, certainly on offense. I'm just not as down on Pablo Lopez as you are.
I just don't see much money coming in on Miami. Miami scored no runs. This team, people are expecting from the win total that this team's going to be awful. And you look at Tampa, and you still have some pretty good players. Still got a Rosarena, still got Austin Meadows, still got Brandon Lau. You got some options here. But yeah, I think Tampa minus 110 seems a little bit short. I figured Tampa would probably be around minus 125.
Yeah, that's that. I was surprised to see the number that low. I really was. I thought it would be a little pricier than that. I think that's a good deal. Let me see if anything else. There's one other one here that. Yeah, here's a rule, Scott, and I know you and I joke about this a lot in the Kikuchi thing because there was a time last year when he made like one really good start, one decent start, and I was reading some things about him, about how his spin rate had increased, and it looked like he was turning the corner. I came on the show and made the point, and he proceeded to absolutely go out there and poop his bed.
I think he gave up 9 runs in 2/3 of an inning.
It was just beyond not pretty, and he continued pretty much to suck after that. I think he made like maybe one more decent start. But so this is going to be something that anytime that Kikuchi, you can fade Kikuchi for positive money, I'm going to do it. That's going to be an auto play for me. And he's catching plus 114, or the Giants are catching plus 114 against Kikuchi today.
I feel the same way. I feel
whatever day this is. Sorry, man.
I feel that's a spot you definitely have to try to capitalize on, fading some bad pitchers at plus prices. Now, another game I'm kind of looking at is the Houston-Oakland game. I know Luzardo's on the mound against Javier.
Yep.
Javier's getting a pretty decent amount of plus money here. I believe he's in the plus 120s. I think that's a little bit too much value. It's actually plus 134 on Bet Online. I don't really get that. I know Houston dominated in the first game. Luzardo's a lefty, and Houston has a decent amount of good right-handed hitters.
Yep, they still do.
Yeah, and Oakland's offense really didn't show up in the first game. So I think Javier's got talent. I know he's young, but so is Luzardo. And Houston, pretty good against left-handed pitching. So I think that plus 134 definitely is worth a sniff or two.
Yeah, even though I've got him on my fantasy team, I'm not 100% convinced about Luzardo. He had a great 2019, kind of took a step backward last year. Christian Javier had a very quiet season, but he had very good last year. I don't understand this number. I think this should be closer to pick 'em. Maybe plus 115, 110, something like that. If you wanted to give plus money to Houston, okay.
130s is way too high.
Way too much. That's fantastic value. I like fading Luzardo right there in that spot.
Yep, that's pretty much all I have.
All right, bud. Well, that's about it. That's the only thing we didn't touch on was we didn't talk about the White Sox, and we didn't talk about Evaldi and John Means for Baltimore.
I would lean over there in the Red Sox game.
I don't know what the weather's going to be like since they got weathered out. It could be horrible weather. I don't know.
That's why I'm not officially saying anything.
Yeah.
But I would have to look at the over for both.
I would agree. Until I check the weather, I wouldn't make that an official play. But barring like wind blowing in, 35 degrees, that kind of stuff, I'd make that over as well. So,
yep.
I don't hate Baltimore there. I don't hate Baltimore catching about.
Well, Evaldi shouldn't be laying minus 170 against anybody.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Even Baltimore. John Means, again, had a very good 2018, 2019. It fell off the cliff last year. Can he get it back? I don't know. They've seen enough out of him in spring to make him the opening day starter. So,
well, you can also argue that even if Boston gets out to a lead, I know Baltimore's bullpen is awful. Boston's bullpen's any good? No, of course not. So this game could turn into an absolute crapshoot late, and if you're getting around plus 160, plus 150, high 150s, and this game could turn into a pretty entertaining 8-7 type of game, like a really high-scoring affair. If it's basically a coin toss and you're getting it at plus 150 something, it's a pretty good deal.
Scott, did you ever see the picture from the Guinness Book of World Records of the world's fattest twins when they were riding on mini bikes?
No, but I'm curious where this is going.
One of these teams is the skinnier twin. That's my point.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not noticeable, but there is a skinny twin between Boston and Baltimore. I'm down on Boston. I'm sure they'll prove me wrong. I'm sure all the haters in Boston will tell me that, I'm just a Yankees lover or something. But I'm down on this team. I think that's good value there on Baltimore. So,
Yeah.
but yes, I like, barring extreme weather, give me the over Rova. All right, Scotty, that's going to do it. We've got kind of a down card on Friday, a lot of off days. And we'll be back to fire at it again, mañana, baby. But until then, we wish you guys nothing but the best on all of your plays. Hope every one of those tickets turns into cash money back at the window. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Of course, don't forget to check out Winners and Winers for deep dives into every game every day with full predictions. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Winers, we appreciate you watching. Keep up the great work, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.